a very special guest in the building. It's gonna be a dope episode, as y'all already seen from the last one. We're on our major upgrade vibes. You feel me?
Yes, sir.
So, but before we get into the guests, we're gonna tap into our sponsors. So, first and foremost, big shout out to Base Hit Barbecue. You know, best barbecue in Chicago. Y'all tap in if you haven't. Then also our other sponsor is the Complete Financial Services and Insurance Agency. We appreciate them providing the space and being a solid sponsor and partner with Currency Caviar.
Shout out Complete. Shout out.
So, no further ado, we're gonna get right into it. We got Mr.
Straight
Nick Fox
into
in
it.
the building.
My boy.
What's good,
Gratitude
everybody?
Let's
Chicago.
get it.
Appreciate you joining us, bro.
Of course, of course.
So for the people who don't know you, you know, who is Nick Fox?
Well, Nick Fox, man, I'm a lot of things. I feel like that's a tough question. From the South Side originally, you know, my pops from out west, mom from Hyde Park. I got a little brother and a little sister, but we threw it through Chicago. So, you know, we here for the city, and really just trying to give back, make a change throughout, you know, the different walks of life that we go through. So whether that's through work, whether that's through gratitude, whether that's through feel me, extracurricular activities, but really just trying to get back to the city and really make a change.
It's a fact.
Most definitely.
Gratitude. Hey, you got the hoodie on for you right now.
Yes, Sirski, I seen the shirt, you know.
You got the shirt on. We representing out here, you know what I'm saying?
Gotta represent,
It's
you know.
crazy. Hey, you know what's funny? I was just on Facebook and they said, what do people in Chicago say? Thank you. Gratitude. Everybody say gratitude.
What's
Gratitude.
crazy, yeah, that was inherent. I wasn't even, like, when we was thinking about the name and everything, and we were coming up with really what we were trying to do, that was unintentional.
Right.
We know that we said, and when we started thinking about it, like, we say gratitude all the time. Like, we
Facts.
use it so often.
That's a
That
fact.
wasn't even really, it was really the idea of, you know, what does gratitude actually mean? So what we trying to do? What are we trying to connect people? We trying to, you know, every brand you talk to is going to say, we got a story, we different, we do this, we don't just do clothes, but that's really, we really love this shit. Like, that's why we're here.
Facts,
Yeah,
bro.
so,
Facts.
Gratitude really is about connecting people. It's really about bringing us all together on one common front, because no matter how different we are in all these different areas, there's one thing that always connects us, and that's being grateful. You're grateful
Facts.
for your
Facts.
family, you're grateful for your job, you know, how much money you got. Any of those things, you express gratitude. Everybody's learning that for. So just really trying to bring that, connect that with how we show it, and that's through our brand, that's through our imaging, that's through our clothing, etc.
Dope.
That's what's up, bro.
Dope, bro.
That's dope,
Dope.
man. Definitely gonna put a link out to his merch or something like
Yes,
that.
sir.
Yeah, it's real easy. GratitudeChicago.com.
Yep.
At Gratitude Chicago.
Facts.
Alright, so let's you know, talk to us how you even started gratitude. Was that something that you had, that you were doing like in elementary school, high school, college? You know, walk us through how you got to that point.
Yeah.
So
Talking.
Yeah. Okay. To be honest, when I was younger, I used to do a lot of drawing. Like, I used to love drawing. That was the one thing that I did. Yeah, that was the one thing that I did that outside of sports that I really loved, but I never really took it to the next level. I was real focused on school, law school, football. You know.
You said law school?
Yeah, stuff like that. Like, that was like a goal. That was my goal when I was younger. That was like really what I was focused on. So the drawing didn't get as much attention as the other things at that time. And as I got older, what really happened with how gratitude got started was I had just graduated.
Graduated high school, college?
No, college. I had just graduated college. Yeah. So just graduated college. I had came off of because when I went to school, I graduated early, so I finished in 3 years, and in those 3 years, I'm not saying that to say, you know, the fact that I graduated in 3 years, but the fact that every year was packed. Like, I was doing something every single semester. I was trying to run this club. I was trying to get my face here, and really the first, I guess, business experience I got was when I was at school. We started with a class. We started our first business. So first business, we scaled it outside of Indianapolis.
What school
and
was this, by the way,
I
bro?
was
I
at
feel like a
Butler
lot of people.
University.
Yeah,
Sorry,
okay.
I'm
Yeah.
For sure.
jumping all the way.
Said
Yeah,
Butler?
nah, you good.
Yeah, Butler
Butler.
University.
Oh, that's lit.
What
Hey.
major? What major as well?
Say that again.
What
Major.
Oh, I majored in risk management and with a minor in pre-law. But that class was like something that every single student that goes to Butler that's in the College of Business has to do. And really the whole idea is you really start a business. Like your freshman year, you start a
That's
factory.
dope.
You learn how to do it. Then your second year, they give you a loan. You got to pitch to get a loan. So like,
Yeah.
I didn't already pitch
That's dope.
before at this point.
You put together a business proposal and all that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm 19, 20 years old with a business proposal. I pitched to a board to get money to get funding before. So that really kind of gave me the business side. So I'm like, all right, I know more now. And when I graduated, I was going to work every single day, but I was not. I felt like I'm missing something. Like I'm so used to going to practice. I'm so used to going to a meeting, or going to
Facts.
this many classes.
Yeah.
I can't be just going to getting on the train and going to work every day, like, and not doing something on the side that's like really cultivating or like using my mind, fulfilling my destiny for real, to be honest. And I was on the train. I literally was just thinking. I was like, you know what? I love shoes so much. We better start a shoe store. And I just said, what's names? I was going through my head like the names that stick to me, and like streetwear brands in the city that stick with me. And I was like, okay, we got Leaders. Okay. I was like Juggernaut when I was younger. Yeah, I was thinking like, what places did you go and slide that people was like, yeah, we had Leaders today, or yeah, we had Juggernaut, or yeah, we had I don't know, Success, anything like that, or like how Fat Tiger is now. It's really like,
shout out to both of them.
yeah, it's really shouts to all of them because they're going crazy. Like,
Yeah. Big
black
shout
men
out.
in the game
Big
going
shout out.
crazy. Yeah. So Fashion Geeks, all of them people.
Yeah.
Going crazy.
Everybody.
Chicago
Facts.
fashion scene.
Man, Chicago got the
Facts.
game on lock if we really
Yeah.
get behind it.
Yeah.
Like people
Chicago
talk about
fashion.
LA,
Yeah.
New York, that's a whole different conversation. But
Black Chicago.
Man.
Black
For
fashion.
real.
Yeah.
For
Make
real.
sure we
Different.
make sure we
Real
differentiate
talk.
that.
yeah. So, what was I saying? It's literally, I was just thinking like, how can we connect people? And then gratitude clicked. I said gratitude, okay. And the real skill, like when it comes to businesses, like a lot of people talk about the money, a lot of people talk about the the relationships, the collaborations, etc. But what I was really my real passion about businesses is putting people in a position to win. So like knowing
Facts.
that this person good at this, so
Facts.
I utilize them here
Facts.
and ask them to work here and like team up so that we can get the job done. That's really like what my goal or
It's
my
huge.
the drive behind business has been for me. So
That's huge,
as
bro.
soon as I did it, anybody know me, they know I act like immediately. Like gratitude came to mind. I said the second, third time, I said, oh yeah, this is
This the move. This the move
I
for
said,
real.
this the one, and
That's lit,
it
bro.
really means something to me. Like,
Right.
Like I got gratitude tatted, so like
That's the real key,
it
right?
really means something. Like,
Right.
Like that really means something to all of us. Like it's not really just the clothing line. It's you feel me? It's like life in a way. And I hit Malcolm the DJ. Malcolm, my little brother, DJ, one of my good friends, and like we came together and started gratitude. And I just hit the chat. I said, y'all trying to start a line? Like let's start a brand. Like the name is gratitude. And this is really what we're talking about. And they was on board right there. Like they said immediately, like right there. And then that's what got me back into drawing. Because from there, I took them sketchbooks I had in high school, them sketchbooks I had when I was back in 8th grade, when we was on 8th, you feel me? When I was drawing in class and stuff like that. And now I'm doing that to the brand. So I'm drawing for the brand. I'm coming up with designs. So I got all the first designs like when we first came up with gratitude in a book. Like it's all there. And
That's lit, bro.
That's really like how gratitude started. We came together and we said, okay, this is something we all passionate about, and on top of us being passionate, what can we do to change the city with it? How do we give back? And then from there, that was really kind of
I like how you, when you had the idea, the first thing you did was reach out to your brother and to one of your bros, because a lot of people will have a great idea and try to hold it to themselves and just do it for self by themselves, but when you're working as a team, especially with family, you setting yourself up with a solid foundation for sure.
Nah, that's for real though. I mean, then that's kind of like how you hit them up though, how y'all came together. That's exactly the same thing with us, bro.
yeah.
Like we trying to do a party. At first, it was just the three of us, me, Drew, and Ant. But then Dion came. You know what I'm saying? It was like, bro, might as well be on the team with us. So, but when it all work out like that, that's how you know it's
Right.
like, all right, bet we got something here.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
When you
exactly.
know, it's a knowing. It's a certain type of knowing you have. Like this, it, bro.
Yeah.
You just
Yo.
go crazy with it.
It's like a nickname, like when you a shorty.
Yeah.
And you waiting for a nickname to hit. And you're like, cause I remember when I was a shorty, I was like, oh man, what's my nickname?
That's my, everybody want a nickname.
I can't get a nickname. Yeah. So you waiting for that nickname to hit. You like, what's gonna be my nickname? What's the one that's gonna stick? And then it finally stick. And then when you look back, you be like, yeah, that was the one. That was the one. It's the same thing with everything else, bro.
Facts, bro.
The name, bro. That's like you said. You know, when we pitched to talk to people, the name, crumbs the caviar. Hey, that is decent.
Yeah, nah.
For real.
Yeah.
It's
You know
just
what I'm
like,
saying?
you know, with gratitude, because obviously that's Chicago,
Yeah.
you know, written all over it.
Yeah. It's the first impression, man. You know, it's the first impression.
Man,
It's
yeah.
gonna last, bro.
Gratitude.
You know, you gotta stick. But yeah, you said a couple things, but I wanted to just kind of give people a little more context on too. So, you talk about your job, man. So you know, I know you majored in risk management and something else, but
Pre-law.
give people a little bit more color on what you do for work outside of this. You know, I know this is gonna be work for one day,
Yeah.
but you still got a full-time job that you do, you know, every on the day as well. So
Yeah. So for work, what I do, you know, on a daily basis is I'm a consultant. So I work in emerging risk consulting. So essentially tying emerging risks to companies' bottom lines, companies' balance sheets, and figuring out how they can mitigate those risks and what the model and potential impacts of those risks are on their company. So the types of risks that I work with specifically, things such as like cyber, you know, terrorism, environmental risks. We're doing a lot of things with that. COVID-19 has been huge, so pandemic modeling, you know, stuff like that. So that's like my day-to-day job. And yeah, I essentially consult companies on the risks that they have, you know, around upon the horizon, and tying those risks and figuring out how they can either mitigate them in terms of, you know, insurance, or mitigate them in terms of implementing some sort of cybersecurity exercises, things like that, to ultimately save them a lot of money in the long run.
Dang, that's dope, bro.
yeah,
Wasn't expecting that. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah.
What?
No, I'm not gonna lie, that's the one part that throws everybody off.
Exactly.
bro.
Like I talk about gratitude, we talk about what I do, talk about my background, and they, oh yeah, what do you do? And I'm a consultant, you know. You know,
Yeah.
active shooter, terrorism modeling. I'm like, what?
But no, I think that's cool to let people know though, cause like to just say it's okay to work your job and then on the side, you know, work your dream. You know what I'm saying? You can
Yeah,
do both.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If,
You-
you know, everybody that's
not
grinding their dream, they ain't just, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't just think they ain't working no job. A lot of people, I'm finna quit, then I'm finna just
Exactly.
do. You gonna put some stress on yourself. Just work both plans, you know?
Most definitely.
Yeah.
And you can. Oh, go ahead. And I was just gonna say, you could real quick. I was just gonna say, you know, if you smart about it and you know what your dream is, and you do both at the same time, you can. If you plan it appropriately, you can use your job to fund your dream.
There you
know
go,
what I'm
bro.
saying?
Yeah,
So like, that's the
No.
real goal, right? Like you getting a guaranteed bag off your job. Use that, take that bread, you know, get you a nice little crib, budget appropriately, and you take that money and you start using it to fund your dream, and then your dream can ultimately become your job.
That's a fact.
You know?
I think, I don't know. That's a tough conversation when you talk about turning your love into your bread and butter, because it creates a different type of stress around it.
Facts.
And not a lot of people. I'm not saying that like anybody watching or anything like that isn't built for that, but a lot of people are not built for that type of stress on what they love. Like imagine adding that I need this paycheck to, you know, your love for drawing, your love for clothes. It's a little bit different. Like
It's a little different.
It's a
Yeah,
different
it kind of
relationship.
takes away. It's same.
Yeah,
People
that's a
talk about
fact.
sports. When you get to college, you feel me? It's different than when you were playing when you was a shorty, or when you were playing
Facts.
when you get into more organized levels. But now I agree wholeheartedly with the using, like working with or collaborating with your job to help fund your dreams.
Yep.
Because in our Juneteenth event last year, we matched over another $3,000 from Marshall Loan. That's the company I work for, Marshall McLennan. They they matched us and gave back to the organization in Inglewood, Bridging the Gap globally, which is Kenny Dawson's organization. But that's kind of like how we used Marsh and used my position to kind of find ways to give back to the community and do stuff for Chicago.
Yeah. So
That's
your
dope,
job
bro.
is they're supportive of
Oh,
everything
yeah.
you got
Damn,
going on
bro.
and
My job is so supportive. Like, I talk about gratitude, to
Open.
colleagues. You feel me? I've had colleagues support the brand, cop things. It's honestly a blessing because I know in a lot of situations this wouldn't be the case necessarily.
Exactly.
It's a lot of brands or a lot of companies that would look at that as competition in a sort
Right.
and not want you to be branching out,
Yeah.
in your own type of way.
That's
so,
a fact.
yeah, so it's cool. It's been cool to kind of experience that in the past almost 4 years that I've been out of school working now.
Exactly. And
That's
are you
dope, bro.
just out of curiosity, are you like the only African American on the team or anything like that? That did you ever feel like weird about, man, I'm one of the only brothers here. If you are, I don't know, but I'm doing this clothing line. I'm sharing this with them. Like, was that ever something that crossed your mind?
Always.
But Dion, cause it happened to me.
Because
That's how I feel.
but I got that at an early age. Like, my pops taught me like two key things. He taught me a lot. I'm not saying it's only two things, but it's two key things that he taught me in terms of like working. And the first was, you feel me, as a leader, you're not always going to be right, and you're not always the best person for like a scenario or situation. And then the second thing was he really taught me how business and like the game really work. And learning the game. So they took me out of public school and I went to Ignatius. So I went to private for high school. That really was my culture shock. So that was me going like, oh wow, this is totally different. Going from like never having another classmate. Like, we had a class of 26, I think, in my graduating class in 8th grade, and we had two people that weren't black, two people that weren't of color in the class. And to go from there to a graduating class of 500 plus, where I could count on my hands how many other black people in the class. Like, that was my culture shock for real. That was really what kind of got me into understanding like kind of how the real world is gonna be when I get outside. When we not out south, or we not, you feel me? Where we from in Chicago. So like, it's just that there taught me so early that when I got to college, when I got to the corporate world, I already knew myself. Like, I know what I am as a black man in America, and I know what my goal is and what I'm trying to change for us as a whole, as a people. So like, nothing from those realms can kind of
Deter you.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Nah, that's
You're not
deep.
gonna hold
Nah,
you
that's
back.
deep, bro.
Yeah, because I already built that. I built that skin. Like, I put that together, and then
Facts.
doing that has really kind of empowered me to even be more vocal about the changes that I feel like we should be making in these spaces. So like at work, being a part, like co-leading the African American Heritage Group, or co-leading, you feel me, like the young professional group in the office and things like that, to kind of make changes. Cause I don't know, we got a long way to go.
Yeah.
Man, that's a whole nother.
Facts. Facts, bro. But I think that's important though, like, cause like my pops, you know what I'm saying? I'll just say the one top thing that I took from him is, he said, always know yourself. Know yourself, but also be true to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because it don't count if you get around other people and you're not yourself no more.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying?
That's real.
But knowing yourself can take you a long way. You know what I'm saying? You can move in any room. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no.
Like you said, other realms. And that's why it was like, it's really important though to explore and travel as a kid and stuff like that. I was grateful, to be able to travel and stuff, to learn other cultures, talk to other people. You know what I'm saying? Because when you get in that room, now it ain't new to you. So a lot of people from Chicago don't leave Chicago, bro.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Don't.
A lot of, what I'm saying? Yeah, it's like, yeah. So like now when you got to go to college and now it's like, oh, damn, what? That's new to you. You might break down and leave. I done went to college with a lot of black people. They just left because it's like, nah, bro, this ain't for me.
Exactly.
But it ain't for everybody though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It's not
Some
for
people
everybody.
leave because, like you say, they like, oh, this ain't for me, and they know themselves.
Yeah.
But they just been told that this is what you have to do to be successful, and so forth like that.
No, I agree. Yeah, it's definitely a pipeline, and it's not necessary. It's not by any means the only path. I would say it worked. It was the path for me, but that don't mean it's the path for the next person.
Most definitely, it's definitely a teacher's own thing.
Yeah.
All right, so talk to us about, for somebody who's interested in starting their own clothing line, how do you start, like from ground zero to, because you've been, your clothing line's been around for about 4 years, 4 or 5 years now.
No, so the story that I was telling y'all about the train and everything, that was in January of 2019, and of course, like, Gratitude didn't kick off that day. That was just like how everything started working. It wasn't until the following summer, so like July, I want to say it was July like 17th or something like that, of 2019 that we actually kicked off. Okay. So we coming up on 2 years in August.
That's what's
man.
up.
So
that's dope, man. Congratulations, bro.
In 2 years. So talk to somebody, who's looking, thinking about it, got a great idea, where do they start, what moves do they need to make?
The idea, or what I would say is, for anybody that wants to start a brand, think about it. And that sounds super simple. But like, the clothing market is so saturated in terms of it's like one of the easiest low cost things that you can do is a t-shirt. Everybody wear clothes, everybody like clothes, so like it's what a lot of people do. When it comes to starting a brand though, you gotta give it time. Like, I'm a very kind of like thoughtful person, so from that day that I sent Gratitude, every single day after that was spent dreaming about Gratitude, like writing things out, drawing things out, pitching things to business partners, like having like conversation about it, ideas, really thinking about it. And I think with a lot of brands, you really gotta find out who you are. Like, if you want to start a clothing brand and you really want it to stick with people, you find out who you are and speak to that person in other people.
That's good, bro.
When you can speak to who you are to other people without saying it, damn. I don't have to tell you what Gratitude is about. Like, people will tell you how they feel when they listen to Gratitude, or when they get on Gratitude page and they cop some Gratitude, because it's literally a lifestyle that we try to create. So like when it comes to starting brands, you create that. It's nothing that can stop you. That's the clothing. That's follow it. Like, you're gonna get better with the clothing. You're gonna get better with designs. You're gonna get another graphic designer who is better than the last one. You're gonna get better at that. But it's really the story that makes it stick. Because you can see a lot of brands that drop some, like, look at the brands that you see on Facebook, ads and stuff like that. Yeah. They hot for them. And they fade out. Because it's not necessarily a real story behind it. It's only a product. So you make the story the capital, the intellectual capital, people will never leave. You will always leave.
That's fire right there.
That's fire. No, that's fire, bro.
Because think about it, like, friendships, relationships, are you locked in because of that experience with them? Y'all locked in for a reason. Like, it's not just, you feel me? It's not just like what they've done for you or what has happened between the two of you.
No, that's a fact. Along with the, like, your whole startup thing, like, because I know a lot of people get their own machines, or they know old girl on the block make t-shirts. Like, how did you start that whole thing? What was your first time? How did you start off selling your shirts?
Okay. First shirt, we really leveraged like relationships and the people we knew. So asking questions, figuring out who does what, whether this company is good at printing, this place I can get shirts from, and research. Like, I don't know, since I was younger, I just always been like a build it yourself, figure it out yourself type shorty. Like, that's just how I was. And when it came to the brand, I didn't spend hours just on Google, just saying, all right, how do we get, this type of shirt? How do we get this type of print? How do you get, this kind of outcome with what we're trying to do? Right. And it was really just like talking to people, leveraging that, and that's how we did the first shirts.
Okay.
Like, talking to other people that had their own brands, saying, okay, look, this is what we want to do, this is our design, how we put this together, who do we need to go talk to? And then from those first interactions, from that first conversations, that's when we started reaching out, meeting new people, saying, okay, introducing ourselves here. We done worked with this person, so now we can connect with this person. It's just really a network. It's all like meeting people and having new conversations and really like putting yourself out there.
Facts. So really just not how, but who.
Yeah,
that's what we.
That's
not how, but who, bro. You get a lot done, bro.
Told me. He says, it's not who you know, or it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Who you know, bro.
Yeah,
it's important,
and
bro.
I think that's like the first step, though. And really just like honoring the craft. So knowing the differences in types of quality, what you're trying to provide.
Facts.
You know, doing the real due diligence to figure out what it is you have and what you're trying to provide, and actually being honest about providing that to the customer. Because you'll see Travis Scott or something like they'll drop $200 pieces, etc. That's on Gilded, you know.
Yeah.
Products. Like and everybody will buy it, like, because it's Travis Scott. But being honest about that with your consumer, saying we provide quality, like we provide this, we provide that, and actually provide that, doing what you need to do.
Facts.
So really just figuring out what your brand lives off of, and then doing that.
Gotcha.
That's what's up, bro.
So y'all, so you come up with the brand, like you said, think about it, start doing research, and you gotta find a manufacturer, right? A supplier. Yeah. How do you start building that relationship with a supplier or, you know, a designer or whatever it may be? How do you start cultivating those things, you know?
I think the biggest thing is social media. That's like, you can talk to anybody on social media, and at a point, it's crazy. Like, after a point of you kind of interacting on social media, manufacturers and suppliers will start reaching out to you. It gets to a point where we have at least, like, you feel me, we might get like 5 messages from different suppliers from all over the world within, you feel me, a day. At this point now,
Right.
But the real thing when it comes to cultivating those relationships is really working with them. So, like with specific manufacturers for shirts, whether that's, if you're purchasing online, it's different. So like you could do wholesale price and things like that. Because this is one thing that I learned from research was, if you really think about it, when you're selling shirts, you're not supposed to get taxed on the blanks that you purchase. So let's say you do a blank t-shirt. Yeah. That's what you printed on. You don't get taxed on that because that's double taxation. If I get taxed on the purchase and I get taxed on the sale, you get double tax. You get double tax at that point. What that taught me then was, all right, how do I get around this? What is in place? Because all these laws and like statutes are in place to help you, you know, actually like start your business, get everything kicked off.
Right.
But the difficulty is like the access to that information. So once you get that, like I found that from research, and I said, okay, now everybody I know that started something, I put them on. Like, hey, go get this license. It's free with the city, and you don't pay taxes on anything that you purchase wholesale. So like that was the first step, but that wasn't necessarily interacting with a person, because those are online purchases for blanks and things like that.
Okay. What license is that, real quick?
It's called a Reg 1.
Okay.
It's through the Illinois tax authority, and you basically gotta put that. I'll send you the actual file.
Yeah,
cool.
But
that'd be dope.
It's called a Reg 1. You fill out that application, you get your resale tax certificate form. When you get that, you just present it to manufacturers.
To any manufacturer.
You show that, they take all the tax off. They say, all right, say no more.
That's dope.
Yeah, in Chicago.
That's huge.
No, facts, bro.
That's huge.
So,
okay.
But yeah, just to get back to the question, but like really cultivating those relationships is like working with them. So continuously working with them, communication, like saying, right now, all what you're looking for in emails, you know, document everything. Like that's one big thing. We tried to treat gratitude, since I've already started a business before, and you know, I've run other businesses like within when I was in school. We want to make sure that we set gratitude up for longevity. So in terms of like the whole business aspect, we want everything in place, filing, documentation, everything, because we really like locked in on that, because it's easy to get sloppy when you're focusing on clothes or you focusing on the product, but you got to make sure your backbone is straight, because if your backbone is straight, clothes not gonna stand up on their own. It's still a business at the end of the day.
I think that's a huge point, bro.
Yeah, it's really it's really that communication. It's really just like putting yourself out there, walking into a print shop and saying, "How y'all doing? I'm looking to do this. Can you help me?" It's going to different places to find different, material shirts or different like stitching and things like that on blank products that you want. Like,
Details.
So it's really like you gotta lock in on the details. Like,
Right, facts.
and
Facts.
And the crazy part is the details are around you every day. You have
Right.
clothes on right. You have clothes on right now. You have clothes that you like at the crib. So it's like actually looking at those to say, okay, I like this shirt because of how it fits.
Right.
How do we make my shirts fit like this?
I like you throw this one in the washer, it still be good. You know what I'm saying? Still fit. I like how this joint streaky.
Who made this
No,
one?
facts. Facts. You really be paying attention to that. Facts, bro. That's facts, bro. So that really just that research, bro. Like, cause a lot of people don't, it be hard, but I think it's important to know what to research. Cause you can just be researching a whole bunch of stuff. You gotta know what to research.
Yeah.
You gotta ask the right. You gotta ask Google the right questions.
Yeah,
Exactly.
no, definitely. Yeah, researching, you definitely got to target it. So, like, I split it up by what I'm looking for. So, if I spend a night looking for new, manufacturers, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for manufacturers. If I
Facts.
spend a night, I say, okay, look, I want to, decrease pricing in how much, this area, like, we pay for this
Right.
product. I want to decrease that. I want to find alternatives. I want to get something better.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm searching. It's really figuring out what you're trying to do, and then targeting your research around that.
Yeah.
That's really the goal.
Targeted research. I like that.
That's a
That's
great
dope.
question.
Yeah.
No, definitely, because I just spent a lot of time looking.
Yeah, bro. You be going in
Didn't
circles.
find nothing. Yeah.
You be like, this is just.
Yeah.
So, go ahead. I was just gonna say, so got the research done. Now we found our manufacturers. We designed, our first shirt.
Mhm.
Now we gotta order. We gonna order it. What's how we ordering this stuff, man? We put in a bulk order. How much should we order? What do we have to have a site set up already in place before we order? Like, what's the next step?
Yeah. Man, setting up the site so easy. Like,
Really, dang.
when you get to a different level and you start getting to the point where you're trying to. So let me backtrack. What I always, this is my philosophy, is there's never a right time, and a lot of people get caught up on dropping their dreams because they say, oh well, it wasn't the right time. Like, I needed this to happen, or it needed to be like this. So
Yeah.
That's a
Facts.
word.
Nah, that's a
right there.
fact,
when
bro.
it comes to the website, like.
Yeah.
The website is such a simple process. You just create a means for people to support. So
Facts.
I didn't believe in the beginning. I didn't believe in harping on how the website is set up at first. Like, at first, you're trying to get it out the door. You want people to see it. Like, of course, you set it up on like a big cartel or Shopify or something like that. The site is gonna be clean. Like,
Yeah.
especially they have like whole layout set up and everything. But
You ain't gotta do nothing.
when you get to
You
the
ain't gotta
level
do
where you're
nothing.
trying to do like creative websites, like how Joe do his, how he did
Yeah.
7-Eleven drop on like a special website, or like Kid Cudi and Cactus Fruit Pen Market did something for his album where like they dropped a whole separate website. That's like
Sheesh.
more.
That's-
That's like more. Yeah, you go get
Yeah.
those websites made. You
You gotta spend
invested
some
more.
Right.
bread, yeah.
But really, I think in the beginning, you try to kick things off, get that website set up first, and then second, you have a couple different options in terms of how you want to drop the actual merch, how you want to order the merch. So our first orders we did pre-orders. So we took orders first,
Gotcha.
and then ordered the shirts.
That's a good
We
idea.
ordered the shirts to the amount that we had sold, and then we added something on top of that. So that's like how we do it. You're always in a better position by doing bulk because your prices is gonna be lower.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with doing bulk, when your prices are lower, is that you could potentially be left over with a lot more stock. So like, that's having 5-6 boxes in your closet of merch. You feel me? That's not being able to get to the other parts of your room because you got merch
Right.
sitting in the
Merch
crib.
and
Right.
Yeah, so like you got that option where you can do pre-orders, and then you got the option where you just say, look, I know I can sell these many. This is how many I'm gonna cop now. If we need to restock, we restock, but this is how many I'm copping now. And you set your budget. You really figure out what you're trying to do. So let's say I want to donate, you feel me, this amount of money to this initiative.
Yeah.
To be able to donate that amount of money,
You back into it.
Yeah,
exactly.
Facts.
You back into everything.
Yeah.
That's like my philosophy.
Set your targets.
Yeah.
That way, otherwise, how you gonna know? You know,
Exactly.
how you gonna know?
Set some sites, set something like figure out what you're trying to do.
Facts.
And then once you do that, that's how you make your order. You make your
Facts.
order. You've already worked. We already talked about like
Yep.
actually working with printers,
Yep.
things like that. After you put that order in, you take them those shirts. They print them shirts.
Yeah.
Now all you talking about is packaging.
Yep.
That's
All right.
good.
One thing that too I think we missed that I think is important too is we talking about pre-order. So the mock-up, you need a mock-up, right?
Oh,
you need something that you can put on IG and be like, yo, get your order in. You know, this the mock-up. This what it looks like. How hard is that? How simple is that? Should I say to make something like that?
Mock-ups get real intricate. Like a mock-up itself is easy, but there's better ways to do better mock-ups, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I
Like,
feel you.
it's way like you could put a mock-up together real simply, but if you want to take it to the next level, just like how we was talking about the website,
Anything,
you can do
yeah.
stuff to your mock-ups
Exactly.
to make them like pop more. So whether that's you actually go out to a website like what's it called? Not Yellow. It's called Yellow Images or something. You can go and buy mock-ups. You can literally buy mock-ups made in Photoshop to put your logo on. That's like professionally created. You feel me? They have the curves, the shine, everything. Everything.
That's dope.
So they like
Yellow images.
Yeah, I think it's called
Yellow
yellowimages.com or something like that. I don't necessarily promote. I would do that first necessarily.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to. What I really would think about is when you put that. I think the biggest thing is really getting people in it. So like you can make mock-ups as much as you want, but people want to see how the clothes
Looks
actually
on
look,
somebody.
especially in the beginning.
For sure.
Because like mock-ups make, like for example, Nike can drop a mock-up right now because everybody knows how Nike shirts fit.
That's a
Because
fact.
Nike didn't touch the whole world. Not everybody knows how gratitude fits, so they need to see gratitude in action. They need to see gratitude on bodies to really like understand what it is and like actually gain a liking for the product.
Yep.
And from there, that's when you get into photo shoots.
Gotcha.
So that's the
Photo
big thing
shoots.
that you focus on at an early start is photo shoots, getting people in the product so that everybody can just see like we not just talking. This is real quality. You can
Right.
see it, how it fits, how it like looks on a person, etc. That's really the goal. But I would say that to say get in tune with Photoshop because that's where you make mock-ups. That's where you make you can make images, you can make flyers, you can take those pictures that you take with people in them and kind of doctor them up on Photoshop.
Facts.
That's like Photoshop was probably the breakthrough. I made this on Photoshop.
Oh,
I
yeah.
really made this. That's the crazy part. Like I made
Dang.
that design.
Right, putting everything
Wow.
together and stuff.
Yeah, like I
Yeah, and in the
literally
background,
put-
AG in the background.
I literally put that together, that design together from scratch. Like it was a blank black screen. And that was
Facts,
like-
and then you
so-
added all that. That's what's up, bro.
Yeah, so Photoshop was like the breaking point. That's literally what taught when I taught myself how to use Photoshop. That was more research.
Right.
I just sat on YouTube,
That's-
couple hour videos, and said, "Look, I'm not doing nothing this weekend anyway. Like, let me figure out how to do this." And
Bro,
man,
Facts. That's what's up. I hear. Oh, go ahead, bro. Go ahead, bro.
I was just saying YouTube University.
YouTube
Yeah,
University.
no, YouTube crazy. YouTube
Yeah.
getting to the level like Google. I always loved Google. But
Hey,
YouTube
you
get
can learn how to do
crazy.
anything on YouTube. bro.
Google owns YouTube.
It's the same.
So we on YouTube.
Google owns YouTube,
Oh, I didn't
so
think-
you
Oh,
know.
for real? I didn't know that, bro.
Yeah.
I didn't
Same.
know
You
that.
sign in, they ask you to sign in.
Right, use your
Yeah.
Gmail and all
I
that.
didn't even
Yeah.
think about that. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Me
it's one and
either,
the
bro.
same, you know. Yeah.
Me, I like so. Do you recommend for people? Because I remember I was at this conference and Damon John was there, for with FUBU, right? And he was talking about how he like got people to wear FUBU. He was like, I would show up to like music videos and stuff like that, and like get the rappers to like wear his shirts, bro. You know what I'm saying? For free. Here you go. Wear this shirt in your video. Boom, boom, boom. And then he said it blew up after that because it's like everybody was seeing with these FUBU. Like, what is this? Not everybody in the industry like, oh, we got to get FUBU. You know what I'm saying? So do you recommend like reaching out to like anybody that got a following? You know what I'm saying? Like, and this, hey, bro, wear this shirt for me, bro. You know, post it, you know, for free, bro. Keep it. You know what I'm saying? You're like, wear that for me.
That happens. Of course, that's part of the game. But if I'm being 100 with you, like, authenticity is what I really pride myself on. And I know that's what Malcolm and DJ pride themselves on too. And we brought that to gratitude. So the real idea is we want people to wear gratitude because they want to rock gratitude. Like, I don't ever want someone to wear gratitude just because I asked them to. And then second is really you can build that organically. There are people in the NFL that have worn gratitude that I've never spoke to before. There are people in the NBA that have worn gratitude that I've never asked to wear gratitude before. And it's really like, I think using that authenticity to push forward what you do, people are gonna rock with you regardless. And I've never
That's good advice.
I just kind of like, I don't necessarily, I would rather work to build up my homies in my brand than like try to get a bunch of celebrities to wear it just so I get 10 sales today and 20 sales tomorrow. Because, bro, somebody in the NBA could post that shirt and nobody counts. What if somebody posts the shirt and I don't even got any in stock? But they not, you feel me? Like, it's like, I really like the idea, and we actually do that on our own, like the models that we use. I'll send y'all Instagrams. We got one model, Derek. We got one model, Ya. Kiki is another model. And we're really trying to create like our own gratitude influencers. Like, we want gratitude athletes. We want gratitude's version of, you know, regular people, or not even necessarily, I use the term regular and that sounds like in a negative connotation, but like people who are here, like that we can touch and meet and talk to. And really kind of create those as our own influences.
Right. That's what's up, bro. That's good advice. That's good advice, though.
That's great advice, bro.
So, alright. So, I feel like a lot of people glorify the idea of starting a clothing brand. You probably even talked to a lot of people that had talked about doing it. What are some of the difficulties and some of the downfalls that most people, you know, don't know about, or some things that you had to learn firsthand as well?
Not everybody gonna like your shit.
And that's hard. Be like, man, I thought it
is difficult. Like, you gotta have a different type of skin to do clothes, cause you could think you dropping the hardest design ever. Like, you could think you're dropping what you think is like the pinnacle, but nobody rocking it. But people don't rock with it not because it's not hard. It may be. You gotta look at the market. Like, it may be something going on. Like, people, like when COVID hit, people like online spending went through the roof in like the middle of the pandemic because more people were at home. Or like if you look around, spending among people around when all the checks came out, you can kind of see like when people are spending money, when people aren't spending money, and you also gotta look at the market of who you selling to. So like, is the people that you work with for the most part that you kind of like, that are your, not necessarily your target market, because I feel like gratitude is for everybody because we all show gratitude. But you think about the people who really are around it, supporting you for real. You gotta look at like what they do, like what are they interested in, what are they doing at this time, you know, this time period, and that's like probably one of the most difficult things is like really seeing or understanding the business aspect, because it's not all just about the clothes, because it don't necessarily work like that when you're trying to sell a product. And then I think the second thing is building those relationships when you don't have connections necessarily. So I'm blessed enough we are blessed enough to have had those relationships to help us kind of start gratitude off. And that's essentially what we try to be for people coming after us.
Mm-hmm.
So we try to be that beacon of light that people
Facts.
can come to and say, all right, I didn't know this. How can I learn it? How can you put me on, et cetera? Because at one point we were in that position. And to be 100% honest, we still in that position. We only 2 years old in the game. Like,
Right.
we were, there's so much more to learn, so much more to figure out, so much more to do. And just really kind of be in there. So I think those are probably the two things that are most difficult when you kicking something off.
Yeah.
Facts,
For sure,
bro.
for sure.
Stay in the game.
So you also talked about, NFL players, NBA players wearing some of your stuff. So talk about some moments within the last 2 years that have been the most fulfilling for you. It could be making a certain amount of money. It could just be something that somebody said. Whatever that means to you. What has been the most fulfilling from you, pursuing your dreams?
That's tough. That is tough. Man, I got a lot to choose from. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, you can say one on one for sure. For sure.
I think these hats is one of my. These hats right here is probably my most proudest moment because.
And that joint dope too.
I appreciate it, bro.
That joint dope.
Because
I ain't even cuz, man. I'm looking around.
Yeah, they can't even see the grateful in the back though.
Yeah,
Y'all
they
got
can. I'll
people.
show it in the, I don't know if I can turn around and show it, but I'll show it.
Yeah.
But probably these because the Cubs meant so much to me when I was a shorty. Like that was what my pops and my great granddad, like they were Cubs fans, and he's a Sox fan.
Yeah, I'm big Sox fan.
Hey, you feel me?
Go ahead, they have your.
Tell you a Sox fan.
You feel me? Yeah, y'all ain't won this
Yeah,
since
your
05, but it's okay. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, more power to you. So back to the reputable team. Nah, so that's really kind of my proudest moment, just because I was able to, like, I don't know, it's like it came full circle. I got pictures of me when I was a kid in big ass jeans and a shirt at the fire department, going to Wrigley, like taking pictures with the firemen and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like I got pictures of me when I was 6, 7 years old, walking around with a Cubs little like hat like this, going into school. So it's just that was cool, and I did it for my birthday this year. So it was like that was probably one of the most fulfilling. And I think second is, and I really actually I don't know. I think I put this first. Now I remember this, but giving Juneteenth last year when we gave like nearly $5,000, we did 100% of the proceeds for the shirt that we made. We're giving back to charity. So we did.
That's dope.
For sure.
Appreciate you, bro. Yeah, no, we worked specifically, and I was talking about that Bridging the Gap Globally, which is an organization ran by Kenny Doss in Inglewood, and he essentially was putting on basketball tournaments for kids in Inglewood throughout the summer. So that's food, having actual tournaments on this court, fixing up the court and everything like that. Cause y'all should have seen like 3 years ago. He showed me the pictures and everything, like how the court used to look and what it looks like now. Like the amount of work and everything that he's put in to turn that into like a safe haven for the neighborhood is crazy. And to be on that court and actually like be able to say, look, bro, we're donating this much money to y'all. This is how much we were able to make and how much we were able to raise. That was crazy. That was probably the first one, because probably second. And then
that's dope though. Just that whole y'all donating, putting that together.
Like really,
Inglewood. That's
realizing that we actually, you feel me? Like we're actually doing what we talk about. Like we're not just saying gratitude. Like we actually are showing you. We trying to give back.
You
to
living it, right?
Yeah, we living it literally. It's a lifestyle. We say that on a couple of the hoodies we got too. Like it's a lifestyle. Like gratitude is literally a lifestyle. And,
that's for sure.
And I think the final thing is probably, this is just like probably my guilty pleasure, but being able to walk around and see people like in
Right.
like that is crazy to me. Like I hop on Instagram and I see somebody just posted a picture and I look at the comments and people saying, "Oh yeah, that shirt fire."
That's it, right?
I don't even know. Like I was, in the bed making this in like 2 in the
Facts, bro. That's
So,
dope, bro.
Yeah, those are probably like the when I could think about the most special things, and then also just working together with my little brother and my homie, like being able to conquer what we conquering with them at the helm of it is crazy. Like not a lot of people can say that. To say like to be able to walk into different places, especially with my little brother, like saying, yeah, we have our own business, we doing this.
That's dope, bro.
He just graduated from school. You feel me? I'm 3 years out. It's just, I don't know, it's a blessing to say the least. Definitely.
That's what's up, bro.
Definitely.
I want to talk like I seen the Foot Locker joint, the shirt. Before you got, cause I want you to talk about the project. I told you to stop talking about it so we can. But what's the inspiration behind that shirt? Cause I want it. I'm like, bro, this shirt raw. The Foot Locker dude, he got the shirt on. I'm like, this shirt raw. What's the inspiration behind making that?
Well, first off, thanks, Coop, for
What?
folks ain't even
Oh, that hey,
he ain't
Hey,
even
edit-
drop his shit.
hey,
No, this is cool.
hey, edit that out. We go.
Ain't no edit, but nah, we just saying.
The reason why we are gonna talk about it though.
That's why everybody was looking at me crazy.
Alright, well, drop his shit for him, you know what I'm saying?
Those look like that's the Out West shit.
Alright, bro. Hey, look, bro. Hey,
I'm hustling my way, so I can't lie.
hey, look. Hey.
But
Leave the West Side.
Anyways, Nick, what y'all got planned? Y'all got anything big planned? You know what I'm saying? Anything new coming out soon?
we got a lot in the works. What I will say is stay tuned. When dates come out, when everything, like, we're not gonna go like super in depth into like the whole project, but I'll tell you, I'll talk about the inspiration. I will talk about that because I think that was dope for real. But we got an event coming. It's gonna be in either June or early July. And I'm gonna send details, but everybody in this room gotta be there.
Facts.
Facts.
We there.
Like the whole city has to be there.
Yeah.
Like,
Facts.
we had to turn this Foot Locker event. We had to take over Foot Locker. Like Chicago has to take over Foot Locker, and I don't know. I'm as you could tell, I'm geeked to get everything started.
That's dope.
So when we can release more information, more details, we'll definitely be sending it out soon.
For sure. And I was just gonna say, how did you, from what you can say, how did you collab with Foot Locker? And then, we'll talk about what we got right here too.
So really, it was crazy. I wasn't even in Chicago when I drew this design. I was in Detroit. I was in Detroit for my dog. This is another plug I'm about to put on. Look up Ja'Cory Davis. He just dropped his second album. It's called Phil Jackson. And
Shout out.
Yeah, Coach Ja'Cory Davis. Y'all can look him up on the gram. It's Ja'Cory. It's like Groovy Corey on the gram. So I send out to everybody. But his both albums did top 20 on Apple Music when he dropped.
That's dope.
He did 50K streams. No, like it's his own label. He produces them. So like he puts together all the
independent
music. He
lane.
don't actually rap. You will see it on his page too. He literally says I'm not a rapper. But no, so we did our first collab when he dropped his first album, and
you good?
we did the first collab with the first album, and I went out to Detroit for the photo shoot with the shirts. And when I went out there, we was in the studio, and I was just like, man, this feel like the perfect atmosphere. Like something needs to be. I need to go home with something from here.
Right.
So I brought my book. I had brought my pencil. I bust that out literally in the middle of the studio. They was playing music, and I just started drawing. Like I was just brainstorming, putting together ideas, and really I was just thinking about the ways that we could tie the city again with the summer and giving back to the city. But it's on top of giving back to the city, really wanting to connect the soul of the city. So like information about the city that even common Chicago people might not even know for real. Like Do you know what the flower, the official flower is for Chicago?
Nope.
We all been to Chicago, man. Don't know.
Right.
I ain't know the
Don't
official
have a
flower
clue.
for Chicago. So, really just like when I sketch things out, I write sentences. So it might look a little weird. Like I don't just draw the clothes. Like I write whole thoughts out. Like I'll really go in there and say, I want the front of this shirt to speak to this. I want the back of this shirt to speak to that. And I want it to like ultimately come together and say one message.
That's dope.
And that's really kind of how we put together this design. It was really just being in Detroit, being around that atmosphere, being around my dogs, and just drawing really. And from there, I brought that back home, and it's since then just blew. And then really, what happened with Foot Locker is just more connections. One of my dogs is who runs the marketing for the Foot Locker Chicago, like the one actually on State Street. He sets the whole store up, so we started having conversations. We chopped it up. From there, next level, more people start finding out about gratitude, and feel me? Now we here.
Yep.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Can you mention the 5 locations or no?
I probably can't mention the 5
no.
locations right now.
I'm trying to get a people some. I'm trying to get a people some, bro.
I guess they know it's gonna be 5 now.
They don't know which ones though, bro.
We will say
This man Coop over here.
I'm not a cop.
His ass a dick.
what we will say is you're gonna have multiple and ample opportunities to slide to one of the events. That's what we will say.
Facts, especially good people from Chicago, bro. On the real.
Coop, you got anything else you want to show us?
Bro, let's get into the kits though. I like these kits,
let's
man.
slide
Let's get
up
into the
with
kits,
some
man.
Yeah, we can talk about the kids. Yeah. So we talked about them a little bit, but the kits really, again, about that story that I was telling y'all. The idea is you're supposed to have everything you need right here, like for the function, everything that you need for the
Facts.
function. So look, we need to talk about right here. We
Yeah,
got
we got
rolling trays. We got cars. I'm gonna get in depth in the cars.
Yeah, bro, because them
The
cars
car is
dope.
crazy, like, and I don't know if a lot of
got it.
people have kind of noticed. Yeah, so let's just go one by one.
Yeah,
So
go-
like, we
go
got
pick
the
up
box. You feel me? We numbered all the boxes for that reason. So we only did 50 of these, and we really wanted to kind of like make people feel like they was getting a personalized item for gratitude. So
Right.
you're not just necessarily. Not only are you copying from gratitude, but if y'all think about the favorite brands that you cop from, it's something that they did with their experience to make you rock with them. Either they gave you some sort of a card, they gave you a code, they sent you an email. The clothing was put together very nicely. It was something that it did.
Right.
And really, that's what we wanted to do here. And I was talking about models before, like our ambassadors. This is Kiki right here on this picture.
Okay.
So,
Shout out Kiki.
What up, though?
Shout out Kiki.
So we can get
Oh,
into
man,
into
hold
the
on, hold on.
Oh my head.
Nah, you good, bro. Oh,
Yeah, we good.
yeah, we solid.
Boom.
Bet, say less. Alright, so we got the 2 lighters that come in with all of them. So if you read it, it says gratitude is a way of life. So just like I talked before, it's literally a lifestyle. So the whole point of this is to really speak to what we're doing.
Right.
So you got that. I'm gonna wait on the cars because we're gonna go through these. I got a pack.
Cause them joints dope.
Yeah, before we bust these open. But we got the rolling trays too. And then the rolling trays, what they do is the cool part for real, is this. You got your phone? Somebody got their phone with you?
Yeah. Oh
I
damn.
don't know if
shit
we can get that on
airplane.
video, but these QR codes take you straight to the Instagram. So,
Oh
Like a
dang.
Let me show you.
That's hard.
So I get on here,
Yeah.
I tap that, it take you right to the gram.
That's dope.
Yeah, take you right to the gram.
That's
You feel me?
dope.
So,
That's raw.
so the idea was like everybody we put the website on here. That was cool.
Yeah.
But we really wanted to do was like make a cool way for people to follow the page.
Nah, that's lit.
So the Instagram is on there. But we're gonna bust open the cards now, so I'm gonna put these.
Yeah, these. Oh no, I thought these was open. Oh, these ain't open. I thought you opened one.
No, I brought up. Yeah, I got a pack to open. Look, trust me, I'm prepared. I got you, my boy. Bust these open.
He got him in the pocket.
They got them in the pocket. You feel me? They go every. Then
That's
I said
lit.
this kit is so that you're prepared for everything.
Nah,
As far as
for real.
moving,
Yeah,
you
for
feel me?
real.
Everything. So really, and I guess I'll start from here. And we talked about gratitude, and I would be remiss if I didn't talk about kind of the real face of gratitude, and that's G Baby. So the bear, that's really like, if you look at our first shirts, they got G Baby on them.
Yeah.
If you see every shirt, it's all like a different form of G Baby. So that's what's crazy is those 3 bears on that shirt, and that's on the back of my hoodie too.
Yeah.
That's me, Malcolm, and DJ.
That's what's up.
It
Okay.
means, like it means
It's a
something.
mean- it's a meaning.
Everything. When I say
Everything.
everything means something.
That's dope.
Everything means
That's
something.
dope.
But G Baby is really like the mascot of the brand, and this came from the Bears. You feel me? Like
Yeah.
the Cubs. It's like an inspiration
Yeah.
from just Chicago. Like we wanted to create something that was memorable, and everybody talks about the polo bear. Everybody talks about everybody's used bears in multiple brands like
Right.
over the years, but we wanted to really create our own and have something that kind of connects with the people, and that's why we made G Baby. But getting into the cards, one thing we always like to promote on top of the fact of like giving back to the city and Chicago in general is giving back to black people in general. Like
Facts, bro.
paying homage to what we've done, whether that's through Juneteenth, whether that's through our Fred Hampton tees, whether that's through what we donated to, or whether that's through just giving back to the community or giving back to black organizations. And what we wanted to do was commemorate black people with the cards that we made too. So if you see somebody playing spades, it's one thing they got their cards. Everybody playing with cards, but it's the regular, it's the king, it's the regular jack, it's the regular ace, it's the regular joker. I don't think I've ever seen a deck of cards with black faces on them. Like representation is so important. It's like information is like access to information, and then representation are like probably the 2 most important things. Not only with clothing lines, that's just like life in general.
Yeah. So say that again. The 2 again. Say those 2 again.
I say representation. And I just forgot it.
And access to
Access to
information.
information.
Representation and access to information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna say access to information and representation are probably the 2 most important things when it comes to life in general. Because you have access to that information, and you have the representation to use that information in what other space that you want to.
Yeah, facts.
So like
Facts.
that's why, and I'm gonna put these right here so like everybody can see them. But we did black faces for every single card that we did. So we got the king, the
Yeah,
queen,
we
the
should have
ace,
threw
the
the
joker,
queen, actual queen. Those jokers, I ain't trusting them. Like,
But really,
Hey.
really what we wanted to do with this was just like focus
nah, that's
on
dope.
using black faces. So
That's dope.
each of these characters was created in the image of what they're supposed to be. So like this is what a king looks like.
Facts.
This is what an ace looks like. Because we always talk about like when we talk about representation, we talk about like in different realms what we see. We always, like as black people when we were younger, we always heard what doctor, lawyer, you feel me, police officer, teacher. Like you have those key things because we didn't see black people who were investment bankers, black people
Yep.
who were consultants, black people who were all these different arenas that black people really run in a lot of different ways.
Facts.
We don't have necessarily that representation because a lot of people see it. So we wanted to create that here. This is what a king looks like to us. This is what an ace looks like
Facts.
to us. This is what a jack, a queen, or a joker looks like to us. And really start building that like platform to show that black people could be on cars too. Black people can do this too. Black people can do really everything.
Right.
And if not
Changing that
everything better.
representation.
You feel me? Like
Exactly.
so
Facts, bro.
that's really kind of what we were doing with this and kind of
Yeah.
what we wanted to do and how we wanted to reach out to people
Facts.
and supporters and just people in general for real.
I'm dope. Nah, the car's
Alright,
dope,
so
bro.
it's up off you, bro.
Yeah, yes,
Say
sir.
less, I got
I'm
him.
walking away with one of those joints right there.
Say no more.
Bulls never leaving the place in spades. Ace high.
Bro.
I bet. Hey, we appreciate you showing that off. We appreciate you coming up here.
Of course, bro.
Where can people find you? Where can tune with you at?
Okay. Instagram. My Instagram is Nick Fox. So it's 5 X's.
Yeah, I was gonna say you be having so many X's on your joint,
Bro, everybody just calls me Fox.
Yeah.
No, it's literally Nick Fox with 5 X's. And it's funny because when I first made my Instagram, I just pressed the X until it went green. Like, so yeah, it's Nick Fox is 5 X's.
Facts.
Gratitude Chicago is at Gratitude Chicago. We made it super simple. The website is also gratitudechicago.com. And if you cop a kit, you can use this code to get to the Instagram, and that's the website right there. So it's
facts,
an easy
bro.
reminder right there. Or
Facts.
trays, we got trays too.
Yeah.
But yeah, tap in if anybody.
Tap
questions,
in, y'all.
you feel me?
Tap in,
I
everybody.
appreciate y'all having me for real.
Facts,
That's
bro.
really
Yeah.
like what I be trying to, what I try to live on is just being accessible, being helpful, and just being like a eternal learner. You feel me? So
Facts, bro.
Thanks, bro.
Facts, bro.
We
This is
appreciate
dope,
you,
bro.
man.
Appreciate
Real
you.
dope, man.
What's one last thing, quick and simple, that you want to leave people with?
ooh, that's tough.
Yeah, we always put them up in some spots.
Stay grateful.
Right. Stay grateful.
I could say stay grateful. I could
Yeah.
say gratitude as well.
Yeah.
But what I'm gonna say is, when you snooze, that's when you lose.
Hey.
Come on, bro.
Literally, the bar from that's a Keith bar from Voodoo. And if y'all, that's a whole different Chicago conversation. I've had that bar written down in my notes for like, what's it, 2021? Probably like 7 years now.
Dang.
Because when I get to the space, and this is the first of many spaces, but when I get to that space, when I really gotta speak to gratitude and I gotta speak to kind of the city and what we trying to do for real, that's the bar I'm gonna use. So I'm gonna use it here, and I'm gonna use it again later.
Yes, sir.
Hey,
Y'all-
back.
y'all gonna
Yes,
remember y'all
sir.
First heard it on Colonel's Academy.
No
Oh,
snooze.
Yes, sir.
Hey,
Yes,
that's
sir.
what's up, bro.
Yes, sir. Y'all heard it
Appreciate
here
you,
first.
man.
You snooze, you
Y'all heard it
lose.
here first.
Snooze, you lose.
Let's go conclude this episode of Crunch and Caviar.
Dope.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, bro. Appreciate it.